Distinguished guests, in this session, we will be speaking about which regions, sectors, and companies will be offering more opportunities in the global arena. And in order to moderate the session, I would like to invite Yüksel Yıldırım, the CEO of Yıldırım Holding. Welcome. And right now, I also would like to invite our panelists, Abdullah Kavukcu, the chairman of the board of Simit, Sarayı, President of the Turkish Industry and Business Association, Erol Bilecik, Member of the board, Koton company, Gülden, Yılmaz, Vice Chairman of the board, Uludağ Beverage, Ömer, Kızıl, Chairman of the board of Derimod, Ümit, Zaim.
Verimli ve etkin bir panel.
I hope that this panel will be beneficial and productive.
Günaydın sayın bayanlar ve
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, our Deputy Prime Minister will be leaving. We were going to say the things that he actually has to say. Hopefully, our messages will be conveyed later. My name is Yüksel Yıldırım. I would like to thank Mr. Rao for giving me this chance of moderating this session. We have very important businessmen, Abdullah Kavukcu from Simit, Sarayı, the chairman of the board, Erol Bilecik, the president of the Turkish Industry and Business Association, Gülden, Yılmaz, member of the board of Koton company, Ömer, Kızıl, the chairman of the board, Uludağ Beverage, and Ümit, Zaim, the chairman of the board of Derimod company. Today we will be speaking about the future of the global opportunities. In this session we will be speaking about which regions, sectors and companies offer more opportunities in the global arena. And also the attraction of the key countries of future, including China and Africa, will be discussed. Before asking my questions to our panelists, first of all, I also would like to say why I am here, why I am moderating this session, why I deserve to be a moderator of this session. As Yüksel Yıldırım, I am the CEO of Yıldırım Holding. Yıldırım Holding actually opened its pathway to the world in 2008 with its investment in Switzerland, and right now we have reached to 50 countries. Of course, we are an important player in the investment sector, and we are actually a financial investor and also an industrial investor. In this panel, our speakers will be focusing on the organic growth, which is a need for them, but we also know that merger and acquisitions are really important for the globalization. As Yıldırım Group, Yıldırım Holding, I believe we are one of the holdings which are actually implementing this inorganic growth in Turkey, and the assets that we acquired are integrated into the Turkish economy to create synergy so that these can turn into IPOs and strategic partnerships, and the financial investors are made ready for it. So we are actually the company hunters, I can say. especially in the foreign markets. We are working as a company hunter rather than focusing on the industrial investment. We are focusing on the financial investments, and we are moving with that entrepreneurial spirit. Without further ado, I'd like to ask my questions one by one. But since we only have one lady, I would like to start with our lady of the panel. Ms. Gülden, my first question is that in the global market for the midterm and long term, what kind of opportunities do you see? Good morning to everyone. After the speech of Mehmet Şimşek, I believe we woke up. It was a very good speech. By the way, this is my first time in the Uludağ Economy Summit. And I am really impressed by its size. And I also would like to thank Mr. Rauf and his team for organizing such a good summit. Well, Mr. Yüksel, rather than focusing on the global opportunities of the future, I believe the ambiguities of the future is gaining ground. Because actually in the order of the world, the dynamics are being shaped from the scratch. The big companies are changing. The big powers are indeed changing. For example, rather than USA, today we are speaking for the dominance of the China, especially in the Asia region. And everybody is saying that the future will be rising from the Asian continent. And each company will be forced to be ready for such kind of a transformation. At the other hand, we are speaking about fourth industrial revolution, and it will create a new world order. And of course, this will bring some predicted and unpredicted consequences. For the predictable consequences, I can say that the Western world will be self-sufficient, and our Deputy Prime Minister, Mehmet Şimşek, actually mentioned to those topics: 3D technology, robotic technology, and internet-based trade platforms, artificial intelligence, and new materials. All of those advancements will turn production to be much more cost-effective, and I believe the Western world will be much more self-sufficient. And I also do believe that the labor needs will be redefined once again. And this new wave of production will create many unemployed blue collars, and the white collar people will be working especially in the sophisticated jobs. So on the global scale, and especially in the scale of the Western world, I believe the gap with the high income and the low income will be indeed increasing. The world dynamics will be changing. The new world will be quite hard for us to survive. And with that perspective in mind, it is not easy to project the future. If we take a closer look to the global advancements, the flexible organizations and brands indeed will dominate the sector. The companies and the brands who are actually focusing on the institutionalization are actually the bulky companies, and they will have higher challenges and bottlenecks. And I do believe that the global opportunity lies in our way of organization. By the way, I am giving 5 minutes for the first questions. I would like to remind you that. Let's start with Mr. Abdullah Kavukcu. When you are globalizing your company, why did you continue with the Simit Sarayı name? Good morning to everyone, by the way. When we started to our business, Even the agency said that let's change the name. The people cannot actually read this name when we are opening our trade to the foreign economies. And I said that, I mean, people will indeed learn Simit Sarayı as we actually learned and memorized the other brands. And in 2012, we took this decision to open our branches in the foreign countries, and we changed the concept of our companies. In Medina first we opened our branch, and then in Netherlands we opened our branch, and in London we have another branch. In the Oxford Street we have 5 branches. And this is actually a source of pride for us. In London currently we have 22 branches. And let me tell you a funny story. I was in front of this magazine, and some person was actually speaking in Turkish and saying that the government is actually subsidizing everything about this company. And I was listening to them. And we are actually under the scope of Turkish quality. I mean, as the Turkey is trying to adapt the European criteria, and it was really important for us to receive the Turk quality standards. And we received 16 million TL as an annual support, and only the rent of our branches is 20 million. And we are only selling Turkish bagels, Smiths, and only with those Turkish bagels we are able to actually finance our business. If we can actually be so much successful with the Turkish bagels, everybody can do anything in Turkey. With Simit Sarayı brand, we are opening very good branches in the well-known places of the countries, and people are memorizing Simit Sarayı. In terms of bakery, I believe we are at top 10, and we actually succeeded to do this within 5 years. Within 5 years, we opened 1,000 branches abroad, and 650 of those branches and their actually agreements have already been signed. Thank you. Erol, Bilecik, President, let's start with you. In the global economy, there is this indeed shocking transformation, and the global growth is actually being revitalized. And many people are saying that this growth is fragile. What can you say about the development in the global economy, and what are the global opportunities? Mr. Yıldırım, first of all, good morning. And I see that the Uludağ Economy Summit is becoming stronger and stronger each year, and I am really glad to be a part of this summit. I believe the Deputy Prime Minister actually gave us very important information, as he was actually a part of this panel. He spoke for the Turkish economy performance and what kind of performance that the Turkish economy should show. Of course, there are certain gaps and certain bottlenecks that we have in our economy that we have to improve. But as an answer to your question, I can say that we have to elaborate on the words of opportunities and risks. And as it is the case in the globe, I can say that the opportunities are actually made used by the ones who are getting prepared for it. This is a crystal clear fact. And if we want to make use of the opportunities, we have to do our preparations appropriately. 2 factors matter. And many valuable speakers already mentioned to that. One of them is the digitalization, and the other one is the change of the technological advancements. In the business world, this transformation is not only having an impact on the institutions, but also on the consumers. because a fast transformation is taking place. As Mr. Selim already mentioned, if we take a closer look to the last decade, the companies whose name that we even didn't know started to actually locate themselves at the core of the global economy. Twitter, Facebook, Airbnb, Androids, Spotify, Instagram. All of those companies actually changed the way of doing business. No matter what is the title of a panel, the artificial intelligence, industrial revolution, version 4, robots, all of those topics are actually being discussed. So there is a remarkable change. And very briefly, I believe we have to say this. An age actually has been closed with the internet. And there is this new age, which might be deemed as the technology age. But we should also embrace this age as the age of opportunities. And many of our panelists are also very important examples of our local entrepreneurs. And there is such a world of opportunities that our local entrepreneurs can travel to. But at the end, who will say the final word? The opportunities or the risks? All the opportunities and the risks are fighting to each other. I do have a positive perspective for the future. No matter what, in which business sector we are, if we can use technology, then we can actually make use of those opportunities and be successful. I would like to say two more things, then I will wrap up my speech, with your permission. If you take a closer look to the global crisis, the technological advancements brought also a crisis of trust, especially the injustice in the income distribution. For example, United States and many European countries, by making use of those unjust income distribution, actually gave away to the populist and racist governments. And as the Deputy Prime Minister said, although the protectionist precautions are in decline, it is still a risk, and there is only a solution to that. The global trade should increase and should grow. And the performance of the entrepreneurial spirit in that regard is of high importance, and the statistics are actually supporting that. The global trade grew by 5.2%, and this was a very remarkable year last year. And OECD is also claiming that the global trade growth will be approximately 3.9%. And these are the important developments. Without losing our hopes, but being prepared, we should continue our journey in the global economy. Thank you.
Ömer Bey, let's continue with you. In Turkey, when we leave aside Coke, you are one of the biggest beverage company. With the Uludağ brand gaining its place, and in the Middle East and Balkanian countries and Europe, gaining a marketplace is very important. So what is your future objective? Where are you right now? Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Uludağ Beverage has started in 1940, and also for the mineral water in 1939 we have started to work. Before telling our Germany story, Abdullah Bey, I have a word to say for you. In all of the Simit Sarayı shops, you're able to drink Uludağ gazoz, simit, and also cheese. This is a lovely triple. Abdullah Bey, let's make a menu. Since that you will be opening 5,000 new shops, let's be partners in this new development phase. This is my proposal for you. We are speaking about globalization. Since 2000, we have started to speak about it more. The beverage field is a little bit remote in distance. You are manufacturing something and you need to distribute it. Logistics is very important. It is not as easy as opening a new shop. After 2000, we have started our global business in the 1970s. We have been established in Germany. Our manufacturing has started in Germany. We have just started on the country in 1975 in Germany with the Industrial Revolution. Our Gastarbeits have migrated to Germany, and they have started to produce Uludağ gazoz, and we still do have 50,000 Czechs remaining from those times. But of course there are some difficulties, manufacturing difficulties. Since it was, the manufacturing side was very difficult, after 1976 they have decided to do the manufacturing in Germany because it was hard to manufacture it in the local facilities. As we have started the manufacturing in 1976, 77 in Holland, and all of the German Gastarbeits had Uludağ fizzy drink, Uludağ soda. It has started as an ethnical beverage, ethnical drink, until 2010. Where the Turkish people are present, Uludağ drink is also present there. And until 2010, in Australia, in the United States, in England, wherever the Turkish people are present, Uludağ drinks were also present there. Of course, in Germany, we do have a high level of population. We have added a level on our business. Until 2000, we have started to recognize the realities of Turkey in the economical crisis situations. We have decided to export the finished products from Turkey. Up until that time, we have done the manufacturing outside, and we have brought our goods from Germany to Turkey and distributed from Turkey. Now we have started to manufacture it in Turkey and distribute it to Germany and the other countries. So from 2000 to 2010, we have filled up our tank in the ethnical market. And what we have done in Uludağ company, in 24 big brands, market brands, it is possible to see Uludağ at every shelf. Many of our customers have become German. We have started with Döner Story. They were having it in their cross shops, but even in their markets, in their Döner shops, Uludağ soft drink has become a phenomena. 80% of the Döner shop owners are German. The German people have started to drink more Uludağ, and they have started to eat more Döner than the Turkish people in Germany. So 3 years ago, we have interfered to the German markets, big German markets, in many of the big cities. In Germany, there is no place which you cannot find any Uludağ drink. So Uludağ soda is a global opportunity, and we have started on the country. We have manufactured it in a foreign country, and after 2000s we have started manufacturing in Turkey, and we have now, beyond the ethnical markets, it become a national drink of the German people. And it was green in the past, now it is red and white in color. And now in Germany it is still green, because it is known as a green box. So it is not all in Turkish. When you look at the box, we have translated the labels on the boxes, so it became a global brand. On the German side, half of our export activities, and the biggest beverage brand is Uludağ. And in the last 3 years, we are the first in place in the Exports and Imports Union, and this is the German story that we have as Uludağ Group. Ümit Bey, you have opened your first shop 36 years ago in the United States and started your global brand journey. In 36 years in globalization process, what is your present condition? What type of plans do you have for Derimod? Do you have any objective? Which markets you're focusing on? And what are you doing in Russia? We're all wondering about that. When I heard Döner, Simit, soda, I thought to get involved in cockroach world. I see a great demand in the Turkish food. 20 years ago, in Turkey, when we have started organized commerce and retailing business, we have opened some shops. 2 years later, we have seen that with a leather coat, it is not possible to carry on the shop business, and we have started to seek for new opportunity. We are not able to sell the jackets during the summertime. During the wintertime, we are selling it. My sister told me that the shoe raw material is leather. Why are we not getting involved in the shoe business? And I said, okay. She has taken the charge of the shoe business, and we have taken our way, shifted our way. We have extended our activities in the retailing business. We do have 110 shops all around Turkey. And we were thinking how we can expand to the foreign market. As Derimod, we are serving for AB segment. In Bitlis, in Muş, in Hakkari, we will not be able to open a shop. Most probably. We said that the best example is coming from Spain. Zara, for example, is a very good example of that. So let's start from the neighborhood countries. Portuguese, France have been the first places that they have concentrated. We have preferred the countries which are 2 hours away from Turkey. Our main focus area was Russia. 4 years ago, we have applied for Turquality. We have taken our license from Turquality. We have examined Russia very closely. Hakan Bey was with us, and really he supported us a lot. He said that, okay, we can do this business here. Many people in this hall think that Russian people love Turkish leather, but we have not sold leather coats there, leather jackets there. We have only sold shoes because there was a huge gap in the shoe business. In the cold zones, we were not addressing their needs with our jackets. We went to Russia. In the shopping malls, there was a great business, but we could not get in the shopping malls. They were giving us places from the 1st and the 3rd floors. We said, no way. And we have decided to take place in the new shopping malls, new opening shopping malls. We have had the reality of decline in the oil prices from $114 to $44, and Ukraine crisis have just exploded, and the Russian economical crisis have started to appear. And all of the shopping malls that we have rented, we have had 3 shops. Koton is also there, but they did not work. Since our shops have not worked in 3 shopping malls, we have closed our shops, and we were seeking for another opportunity. In this crisis situation, the foreign brands have started to escape from Russia. We are used with such kind of crisis, so from the places they have escaped, we have filled their places. So in the best ways, we have rented our shops. Being resistant and with these crises, we really made a very good result. And we have started to work there. Gülden knows it very well. Our biggest competitor in Russia is the climate. It's very cold during the winter time. All of our collection has been prepared for winter. Despite that cold climate, you need to have water resistant, or you need to have cold resistant bases, and you need to have some internal coverages. And we have created that technology. We have been innovative. We have done our best. But of course, it was essential to have some time, to spend some time. We wanted to be one of the best brands. It was not a matter of having big sales in that country. We wanted to be the first 3 foreign brands in that country. There is one point that I would like to share with you. The state decisions should be Brazilians should be stabilized. They should not change their minds continuously. When we look at our situation, we have started to examine what we can do in the next 5 years. Last year there was a decision about true quality. From now on, true quality will be providing license for 5 years on some country basis. What does this mean? You get into a country, learn this business within 5 years, otherwise take care of yourself. This means that. So it is not a bad decision when you start new. But like United States, China, and Russia are big-scaled countries, and 5 years means nothing. Last year, in Moscow, I have gone on the plane. In Siberia, I have gone to Ekaterinburg. It takes 6 hours to go. How you can just claim that within 5 years I may learn Russia? You cannot learn Russia within 5 years. So the Ministry of Economy needs to revise this decision about true quality license. We are doing our best in order to express ourselves. Sometimes we are becoming demoralized. When you're getting on the way, all of a sudden a decision is being changed. I wish the minister was here, but unfortunately Mehmet Bey is not here anymore. So our Russian experiences like that, we are good in mood, but we are a little bit being uncomfortable about the changing conditions. We do have shops in Iran, in Kazakhstan, in Georgia, and in Baltimore we are starting. Our main objective is, first of all, everybody is claiming to be the world brand, but we are aiming to be the regional brand, first of all. If we become a regional brand, then step by step we may step to the European market. Thank you very much. Gülden Hanım, let me turn back to you. What is the pret-a-porter business in Turkey? Okay, we have come to our business. When I'm included in the menu, let us add 2 t-shirts to the menu. Okay, we are preparing our menus, of course. In the ready-made clothing, I see 2 opportunities. In the garment industry, you need to develop yourself, you need to see the potential, and secondly, you need to be a rapidly globalizing brand, just like Koton. In the recent time, in the luxurious and niche segments, there are some developing brands, and they're coming from the fast fashion. Fast fashion is adapting the collections fastly, and all of this supplying system is rapidly taking place. The fast fashion and the fashion businesses opportunities in the textile industry are going in hand-to-hand with the manufacturing side of the garment industry. There is a big ecosystem, and it is rapidly evolving and changing. And we may think that in 2017, $40 billion was the production volume in the field of ready-made fashion industry. When we look at Istanbul, it is one of the crowded and also busy city. When you go around Istanbul, you see a huge richness, $30 billion of an economy and an industry that we are speaking about. There is a very serious ecosystem from fiber to the fabrics. We are transforming the products. We do have such kind of a manufacturing hub. And I'm not speaking about the contribution to the employment labor side. We are also educating designers. The fashion schools are really educating very well designers. So we are only carving the sugar and the flour to make a dessert. So we have everything in hand, so we are cooking the food. On one side, a second opportunity field is the appearance of these small brands like Koton. They are expanding by opening new shops in different regions, and ready-wear industry, the garment industry, will be seeing more global Turkish brands. We do have a huge opportunity in the field of garment industry. Abdullah, let me turn back to you. In Saudi Arabia, Middle East and South African region, Fawaz Al-Hokair Group has been your partner since 2014. 2017, you have had sales for your shares. According to the global opportunities, what are the contributions of this partnership and what are your future projections?
Aslında şunu söylemek istiyorum. Biz 2012'de
In 2012, it has been widely spoken. We have had a huge sale. I do not forget Hakan Ateş Denizbank was present. They were only our bank and they have given us a full support when we were speaking where to proceed. They really believed us and supported us and understood us. And they are all very successful. I'm not praising them, but for the third time they are selling their bank. They do have such kind of a huge horizon. Everybody supported us. This brand is not our brand. This is Turkey's brand. We have come to a certain point, certain level that we are able to create EBITDA and the minority shares are able to be sold, and this private equity logic and funds are generally being bought in very low prices, and you're selling them with the most reasonable prices. So we have not fallen into those traps. You are doing a lot, you know this tricks very well. By selling the minority shares, with the family funds, with the inorganic growth way, we have started to grow. We have bought Katakostas and we have transformed them into Simit Sarayı. Hopefully in London we do have a chain partner, a chain shop partner. We will be transforming them into 85 different Simit Sarayıs. What will be your number in total? In London we do have 22. We will be adding 85 more shops in London. If we will not able to achieve that, we will be closing with 40 shops in London this year. We are also entering 2 new countries. In Kenya, we are opening our shops. In 2019, Far East will be our main market, target market. In the United States, we do have 3 shops right at the moment. 2019, we will be rapidly expanding. How we are doing this? When you go to the banks, they're asking your turnover. They're only looking at your turnover. We are selling Simit. We are selling 1.5 lira of Simit, so we are carrying on the turnover. What is our EBITDA? How many years we will be paying you back? Just perceive it with this way. On abroad, they are perceiving you in that way, but in Turkey, some banks, that credit banks, are approaching it with a different manner. Not general managers, but the loan givers are approaching with this manner. Hope that it will be possible to change that approach in Turkey. It is not a matter of giving, mortgage. We need to carry on. We need to support such kind of brands from Turkey. Because in Turkey, I really do believe that the successful brand in Turkey will be more successful in abroad. Am I mistaken, Yılmaz Bey? This is the situation of Koton. LC Waikiki is a very significant example. So in food, we have accomplished something. When you're going to London, it is very easy to see. People are in queue. In Saudi Arabia, we do have 55 shops and people are in the queue. Thanks to God, we believe in that. We really believe that new brands will be appearing from Turkey, and we will be one of the 10 big brands globally, and we have taken a very long way, and hopefully we will accomplish that. Thank you.
Bu ara krediniz Halkbank'ta hazır mı?
By the way, your credit is ready in Halkbank. I also would like to say that. Mr. Erol, TÜSİAD is actually a non-governmental organization which is following the world. In the new term, which countries will be your focal point and what is the reason for that? Of course, without doubt, not only the representatives of the business world who are present in here, but the other businessmen in Turkey and also in the globe follow two things much more closely. If you have a very strong economy, it doesn't mean that you will, necessarily have a good foreign policy. But if you have a very good foreign policy, then it will have a good impact on your economy as well. As our Deputy Prime Minister has already mentioned, starting from the foundation till today, Turkish Industry and Business Association has already focused on the European Union country. The European Union countries were our focal points. And in 2018, the EU will be on our main agenda once again. And I also would like to say a couple of things more in that regard. I believe without a need for a different formula, our accession negotiations should be continuing, and we shouldn't be accepting different formulas for the membership negotiations. Of course, the visa exemption and the revision in the custom union, such topics are highly important. And in order to do a self-criticism and to be objective with regards to our relations with the European Union, we can also say that although we receive a negative energy from certain European Union countries, we should still focus our bottlenecks and our strong points. And we should ask whether we do have any gaps in our demographic developments, and we should criticize ourselves in that regard. I believe the normalization process should be accelerating because for 2 years, unfortunately, the martial law is being practiced in Turkey, and from the martial law, we should continue with the normalization process. And when you take a closer look to the things that we have succeeded and the things that we were not able to succeed, there is a huge gap. And we should always embrace the rule of law in our country so that our membership negotiations will be going on much more smoothly, and our perception in the foreign countries will be much more better. We have a lot of friends who are working, who are making business in the Middle East. And the reason why the Middle Eastern countries are actually having a positive impact in Turkey is not that there is a Middle Easternization process going on in Turkey, but Turkey's special relations with the European Union countries. After the German elections, the negotiations actually increased with the European Union and Turkey, and this is also a very important point. And all of our representations abroad actually continuing on that pathway. I also would like to mention to the topic of our relations with the UK. After the Brexit process has been initiated, our relationship with the EU member will not be a reality after the Brexit is materialized. And this will have huge impact in many of the sectors, from the paper sector to the car industry and so. And this will create a hurdle for the doing of business in terms of the taxation. And with the CBI, who is our counterpart, by the way, we actually discussed such topics with them in great details, but I believe that this will be one of the topics which will turn out to be a difficulty for us. China, Belt and Road Industry, commercial ally. We are their single partner in Turkey, and we will host 31 countries from that project, and it is also valid for the Gulf countries. We will host them too. We have established a network in the Silicon Valley, and we realized this network at the month of October in order to revitalize and enlighten the pathway of the startups, and in order to promote the entrepreneurial spirit. I believe this was one of the most important projects. As Mr. Deputy Prime Minister has said in his speech, he just came back from Argentina, from the G20 actually meeting, and we are the representatives of the B20, and we were present in that meeting. Infrastructure, artificial intelligence, and the value chain, these are the topics we have discussed so far, and we were present as the representative of the business world, and we are continuing our studies within those fields. Thank you very much. Mr. Ömer, in the global arena for the beverages, what kind of opportunities are awaiting you and the companies like your company, and in which markets do you think that the Turkish producers have a higher chance? Well, by the way, I also would like to say something. I was in Hamburg for a maritime conference, and what is the product which is actually being important to the United States from the Europe? It was water, by the way. I also would like to say this. Well, the Turkish companies, if they want to go abroad, first of all, they have to, of course, make money, and they have to have good capital. So, first of all, you have to strengthen your company by producing value-added products. And in the beverage sector, there are different categories. Why I'm saying all of those? In different categories, the companies should actually follow themselves, and they should create this added value. And when they can start producing those added value products, they can go to those companies that they are targeting for. In the beverage sector in Turkey, we are present in 4 or 5 sectors, and we have started this issue in 2004 and 2005. These years, actually, we have 55 different types of products with different aromas of beverages, and we are not only focusing on the beverages, and we are also producing facial sprays. We have such facial creams, and we are also involved in the cosmetic sector with different sun protection factors. There are 2 popular brands, Uludağ Premium, like Uludağ Premium mineral water, and the other one is having a higher level of gaseous fluid. And those companies became popular not by advertising. They actually made their marketings with the Italian food, so they actually followed a trend, a fashion. For the mineral water, if we would like to become successful, we have to actually sell our products with a value, with an added value, and with a reasonable price. But mineral water is actually one of the most healthy, actually liquid, especially if you make a comparison in terms of the mineral values of those beverages in Europe with the Turkish brands, then our brand is much more superior. But unfortunately, we were not able to market our, for example, in the abroad. Uludağ Premium is marketed as such, which is much more easier to drink. And in Turkey, in all hotels and restaurants, Uludağ Premium is actually being sold. So the mineral waters actually gained a better ground. Last year, in summer, we created this facial spray from mineral water. And we increase the value of our premium brand, and with the facial spray we actually reach out to the top. And the facial sprays will be much more successful this year as well. If you can do such kind of marketing activities, then your added value will be increasing and you can start selling your products in the neighborhood countries. And if you can, all of those international beverage companies are already producing in those countries. So rather than dealing with the transportation costs and opening new factories there, you can actually create an added value product and you can export your brand to European markets with the local production. What can we do for the mineral water? In Middle East, there are no actually resources for mineral water. Even in the actually Middle East, there is no underwater. Maybe we are the most successful company in terms of the profit, but without actually creating an added value. They are selling their products in terms of the quantity. Our quantity is good, but unfortunately we are not able to create added value products. So the brandization should be successful in Turkey first, and then they should go abroad. Because in Middle East, there is no natural underwater. One of them will be going from Italy to the Middle East, and France is going to the Middle East. But we are much more closer to the Middle East in terms of the transportation costs. So we should really actually reduce our costs so that we can learn how to earn money in the Middle East first. Although it is quite hard, if Uludağ Spirit, Uludağ Premium can come to a better place, the Uludağ actually facial spray can be a popular brand and you can purchase it online. What matters here is that you have to create the brand right, and then you can sell your product to the foreign countries. Thank you. Mr. Ümit, do you think that a retail brand can come out of Turkey like a Starbucks? And when do you think that this will be materialized? And what is the chance of Turkey? A very good question. And this was a question that I was not expecting, but I will try to answer your question. Our Deputy Prime Minister said a very important thing. He said, there are so many businessmen, and he said, wake up. With those interest rates, you cannot do business, he said. He said, wake up and find yourself a partner. This was the message of today, I believe. With such kinds of interest rates, you cannot actually focus on how actually we can be a global brand, but you can only focus how you can save your ass. There are many funds. Well, the banking sector representatives, please, do not understand me wrong. Your money is at the safe hands. Because, even our underpants are used as a guarantee for your credit, so please do not worry. In Turkey, there are a lot of funds, and as the policy of our company, we are not actually finding the funds as something actually favorable, because the funds are first of all seeing your EBITDA, and they want us to grow and grow and grow. But we are much more into these strategic partnerships, and this is one of the important points. When we can actually create a global brand from Turkey, of course, we will have a global brand from Turkey. And I believe a global brand will come out from the retail sector. But when you say global brands, my definition is as follows. When a couple of Nobel Prize winners come out of Turkey, when athletes can win the Olympic golds, and when actually a football team can actually win the Champions League, then a global brand will come out of Turkey. Thank you.
Gülden, we have come to our last point. I will be giving you 3 minutes for each. Where are the opportunities for Koton? You have reached 507 shops in 27 countries. It is present in 5 continents, but what is your future vision? Thank you very much. It was a very good session. It was a very good scene. We have created menus. We have totally taken the credits. But you know, Koton is the nearest global brand. Potential. We do have such kind of potential. On Koton sites, the opportunity is basing on our fragile, flexible structure. We are not agile system. In the fast fashion category, we are working, and we are working very hard to develop in this field. Koton in Turkey, in the fast fashion category, is leading. Because in the fashion and trends, we are continuously investing. This is our first opportunity field. And the second opportunity field is the online sales. This is very important. All of the retailing business players, they need to be involved in the online sales. We have started late, but online sales is now 5% of our sales. And more than 100 types, we are developing our products, and we do have some special online categories which we are specially designing for the online platforms. So we are on the e-commerce, the leader brand. And our third opportunity is for the last 20 years. When we look at the developing countries, they have shown a very significant growth, and there are some new market opportunities in the next 10 or 15 years. The fashion brands will be finding opportunities to be present in those new markets. In the Western world, Germany and Italy and France type of countries, where the competition has been stabilized, somehow got the distribution of some locations, so it is very hard to interfere those locations. It will be taking some time. Opportunities are mainly on the Kazakhstan and Russia type of area, Malaysia, India. India is changing the fashion habits, fashion trends, has got a very huge population, and very rapidly they are transforming their way of wearing and becoming modernized, and we see some opportunities in those markets, and we will be making use of them. And I can say that in 5 continents, we are aiming to become the global brand. We are not yet, but we are very close to the global brand issue. We are present in 27 countries. We do have 507 shops. 203 of them are in abroad. Approximately more than 10,000 employees we have. In order to explain our size, I think we do have 47 shops in Russia, and more than 1,000 people are being employed there. When we look at the developing countries, it is exactly and significantly showing us the field, the opportunity field. We are not ignoring the European markets. In France and in Germany, we are trying to develop and be present. Those markets for the fashion industry are very important. Since the fashion industry is developing from the West, we need to be present in the West. Simit Sarayı is very good to see, and Uludağ is very good to see. In France and Germany, we have shown an attraction, and we are moving towards that attraction. And in the shopping mall association survey, Koton brand in the women fashion category has been the best brand. And abroad, we are also being liked, and in our target market we will be proceeding, and within the country economy we are adding value with the export to goods that we have, and these are the things that I may say about our future projections at the present situation. Abdullah Bey, my last question to you. What type of a future you are seeing? What type of a future projection you have, plan you have? When we are starting our business, we always targeted to create a global food brand. We wanted to be present and we want to be successful, which the other food brands may not achieve. When you go to the United States, you are eating it with the same taste that you can eat in Turkey. After accomplishing this, the second thing that we were obliged to do is being present in the best locations of the world. Let me give you an example. We were having a negotiation with a founding company, and the owner of that company has told me that at those times we were discussing New York and London with him. Do not open at those places, he said. Prefer Afghanistan and Pakistan. He has proposed us some alternative countries. We said that if we can be in London and if we can be in the United States, if we can have queues in front of our shops, it's easy to be in the other countries, in the other alternative countries, because you are being a brand. Today, there are some squares, retailing squares. And being present in those shopping squares is very easy and also very hard. If you are present, people are ready to come and leave their key to you. We could do this. We could achieve this. Our target, I'm speaking very assertive, now we are not even 5% with our presence. We have a long way to go. We don't have mistakes. We are correcting our mistakes. And hopefully, we will be a very honorable brand. We do not act just for the sales. We don't have such kind of mentality. We are increasing our capital, and we are investing our own company to enlarge it, to extend it. We do have very serious negotiations. Our only condition is this: I'm going to manage as much as I can. At the point where I'm not able to manage, I will be stepping back. For example, in London, we do have a central office. We are administering the whole world from London. In Turkey, we do have a factory, and in London, we do have a factory. In Turkey's condition, you always need to be a B plan if you want to be a global brand. Something is happening, and a country is forbidding a product to be sent to that country. So you need to have your B plans. We are developing and educating our crew, and we are sending them to the foreign countries. Hope that in bakery, in the field of bakery, we can be in the first three. This is not far away, so it is very close for us if we can achieve what we are aiming to do. Erol Bey, how may the Turkish companies compete in the global competition? What type of a roadmap we are in need of in order to proceed as a Turkish brand in the global market? First of all, beyond that roadmap, we need to clearly define our target. On behalf of TÜSİAD, our distinguished members, our technician colleagues, we do have a consensus, common consensus. Between 2002 and 2007, the first period of AK Party, we have created a story and we have sold that story. When we were coming up to this point, we have created a Turkish story, and it was an incredible story which was being disseminated all around the world with a high quality. What is missing now is a new story. We are in need of a new story as Turkey. Yes, this is painful reality. Also, it is a very good reality. On to see outside, this is our main concern, our main focal point. In the field of technology, for example, which is including Industry 4.0, if we can bring such kind of an industrial revolutionary side and create such kind of an industrial story, we can add value. So can we figure out a story from the technological side? So more frequently we need to think and speak about this. The prescription is clear. We need to be more competitive. We need to be more present. In order to be more competitive, we need to have a macroeconomical stability. 2 times 2 is 4. We need to have robust corporate structures, from the central bank to the all of the institutions, banking, regulation and supervision agency. As our minister has just mentioned, we do have a gap to be filled. If we can increase the efficiency, if we can have constructional reforms, we will be achieving this. We are closely following that, and we are underlining the issue. Without having any hesitation, it is possible to say that we need to be strong on the bilateral way or in the unilateral way. When we look at our international relations, we need to focus on success, we need to focus on a better communication, we need to enhance our communicative skills. So I don't have to extend my speech more because we are very clear. 2 factors are very important in economy. One of them is stability and the other one is the productivity. With the high performance that we have in hand right now, the miracles are being created. We do have hundreds and thousands of shops present all around the world. When we look at these business people, we do have a miracle. When you look, approximately a double-digit inflation is our combat zone. Every day the currency rates are changing, fluctuating. So we are living in such kind of a global reality. But very frequently the interests are being a complaining fact. When you look at this triangle, in this triangle zone, getting out of that triangle and expanding your business is something very hard. So it is something to be appreciated because 2 times 2 is 4. If you cannot beat the inflation, it is not possible to decrease the interest rates. As a result, we are in the same ship. We do not have any chance to speed up. It will not be changed the result. The speed of the ship is important, not the crew. So we need to speed up our ship all together. We need to work collaboratively. As my Mehmet Şimşek has just pointed out, as our Deputy Prime Minister, the structural reforms are essential in some certain fields. I wish to see those reforms to become true, education and labor force. These 2 areas need to have new reforms, energy policies and also industrial transformation and enhancing and revitalizing the investment fields and entrepreneurship can be counted. But labor force and education are 2 major areas to be reformed. What we cannot shoot will be skipped. So we need to shoot from the center and we should not miss any shoot. Thank you. Ömer Bey, your last question. If we can find a distributor, we may establish a filling station in the countries that we are actually working. What is the latest situation? What type of partners you are seeking for? Are you planning to buy new factories? I have found my partner just beside me. We have got a common menu with Simit, Sarayı, and we will be speaking about the spray and we will be collaborating with Koton. So our opportunities is just sitting beside us. Making production is very easy nowadays. It was very hard to make production in the past. There is Uludağ right now in different categories in different places. In some ethnical places, we are meeting with the consumer And sometimes we are meeting with the local people. I have mentioned Germany. We are reaching 40% of German population. 60% is the Turkish population in Germany, but 40% is the German population. And it will be coming to a certain point. Geopolitical distance is important. Iraq, with fruity, we are the market leader. And in Iraq, we are the same. In south and north part of the Iraq, we are very active. In Iraq televisions, we do have advertisement come to a certain point. And we are a local brand now. And those two countries is a big major partner. And we do have Palestinian, Israel, and Cyprus countries, that region. We do have 5 partners there. Uludağ Gazoz and Fruity are very active. They are going head-to-head. Uludağ Gazoz now a little bit beaten Fruity. And when we come to this side, we do have another 5 group: Romania, England, Australia, and United States, and Bulgaria. So we are exporting approximately 40 countries. Those 5 country group is very interesting. In Romania, we are only selling lemonade, and to the Romanian people. Now we do have a lemonade brand. And when you get in a market in Romania, you will be facing with Uludağ lemonade. In different ethnical or local markets, we are present. And in some certain places, in order to step some further global steps, if we place Germany, we are beyond the middle scale, and in Romania, we are in the same place. So we will be seeing these opportunities, and we will be getting involved in the ideal markets. In the Middle East, when we are looking for Middle East, Turkey is a very big country, 80 million population, and a young generation is coming. And after the international brands, in the field of beverage, fizzy drink area, the most organized transportation and distribution is being counted by Uludağ brand. When we are aiming to go there, and the foreign brands are aiming to come to the Turkish market, if you find the right partner, I'm not seeking for any partner right now, but sometimes we are chasing after the partners. No, we are doing our business in the right way. Since we are doing our business in the right way, and we do have innovation and doing it in a different way, many foreign brands are aiming to come here. We do have a lot of foreign brands right now, but they could not achieve anything in our local market. So you will be seeing in the recent time there are some newcomers. If you're not a good brand, if you do not have good distribution, if you do not have any variety of products, it is not possible to be successful. We are successful, and we do have some successful probable partners. And what I'm thinking, we do have a lot of investments, and the mineral water, for example, is an investing area. I need to make it a full brand. We are speaking about innovation and change. In Turkey right now, in a certain field, we were in the spring water field before 2000. We have sold it. 3 years ago, Uludağ Premium glass bottle business was our new innovation, and now we do have the PET bottles. We do have 300 water companies in Turkey and 300 water sources in Turkey. If we do have 300 brands, you are coming behind, despite the fact that you're an Uludağ brand. Since that you are creating a soft water, you need to create a difference. There's a huge competition, and competition is very wild in Turkey. We are killing each other. You were buying a PET bottle in the past, you were opening and drinking it. When you're opening it, it is squeezing, it's a very thin layer. We wanted to create something different. We have entered the market with a glass bottle, and Uludağ Premium at beach bars, at cafes, at hotels, and some certain restaurants do not prefer the glass bottle, since it is very problematic in logistics, since it's very expensive. They are hiding it in the leather cases or in the basket cases. So we want to do something interesting with the PET bottles. We do have doubled the volume, the weight of the PET bottle, so we do have a very strong PET bottles right now. We do have an innovation. First of all, maybe we will be working in Germany. We will be having a local partner, and we will be distributing it to the Middle East. We will be observing it very closely. Thank you very much for listening me.
Ümit Bey, Türk hazır giyimcileri için globalde nasıl bir
For Turkish producers, what kind of future do you see, and what can be done, and up until now, what do you think about the things that have been done? The biggest advantage of the retail companies are actually the neighbors of the Turkey. You can go to Iran, you can go to the Balkans. Everybody knows Derimod and Koton, especially with those Turkish cereals. We reached out to the top. I mean, we cannot actually have this level of success even if we have invested billions of dollars to the advertisement. This is our advantage, and I have already said, and the concentration in the room is starting to be getting lower and lower, and most probably Hakan Ateş will be actually motivating you once again. I have said everything already, so I will not be saying anything else. Well, as the wrap-up speech, I also would like to say a couple of things after listening to our speakers. I have already experienced such a good level of growth for the last decade, and the Deputy Prime Minister has already said the asset prices increased, and we have to be precautious. By combining financial and industrial investments, for the first time in Turkey, we decided to establish a fund among big groups. For fundraising, we will start our journey. The companies have been established abroad. We have spoken with the LPs, with the funds, and metal and mining sector, infrastructure sector, and the port sector, in the rescue sector. These are our main sectors, and as a private equity fund based in New York and London with our offices there, we will start this business as well. Hopefully we will raise our funds for the first time this year, because we have a very good level of know-how in these sectors, and as a group in 2018 we will invest in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan in the mining, energy and infrastructure sectors. We have come to the end of our negotiations, and the exploration and the drilling activities will be initiated in the mining sector, chemistry, energy, and also for the fertilizer sector. We are continuing with our negotiations for the acquisitions of the company, and we hope that in those regions we will be acquiring new companies, and in Latin America that we like it very much. There is a pressure coming from the Prime Minister and the President. Odebrecht company in Brazil is involved in this corruption scandal, and a huge vacuum actually appeared in Latin America, especially in the construction sector. And what is expected from us is to bring construction companies to the Latin America. There are a lot of things to be done in Colombia and Peru. There are projects with the value of 20 to 30 billion dollars. They are being spoken already, and we have conveyed this information to the big construction companies in Turkey, and we also have our discussions for a cooperation and collaboration, and together with the ENCA group we will continue to our path. We started working on our projects, and our teams are in Colombia and Peru and making high-level meetings. And Latin America, I believe there is a chance for the Turkish people as well. I can say that the global opportunities will never end. Please do not be so sad that you missed the opportunities. As long as you can reach out to capital, you can do all of those businesses as the Turkish companies. Well, thank you very much for listening. to us. I also would like to thank to our panelists one by one. Thank you.